Hey ratbags, it's Jade, another dev blog coming from Valheim, and the Ashlands update is imminent, and that's coming from their words, not mine. I've been hypothesising that it would arrive soon since they've been gathering and building up a lot of social media presence, revealing more and more each week, and today's no different. We get a look at more decorative pieces, and yes, they're polishing up the final fixes before release. Also in today, they're going over the reminders about what you should know, because Xbox players, this will be your first big major update. We did obviously have Hilda's Quest that did add some new stuff to the game, but this is going to be really the first time that you've had a biome update. So basically, they'd been at GDC last week, some of the devs, and they did show off that Valheim was actually there at GDC, and you could try it out for yourself, like anyone really needs to. But it's good to see a presence there, maybe getting ideas from other game devs about how to improve Valheim, and obviously sharing their experiences so that other people can learn from them. Jonathan Smars did do a talk there, but I'm yet to find the actual footage or link to it, so I'm hoping that does become available on the GDC site in the future, talking about the experiences with early access. And here it is. Otherwise, we're currently spending most of our time ironing out a lot of wrinkles. Just like any biome, the Ashlands will feature several new mechanics, new materials, building pieces and enemies. It's important to get all that working smoothly. Right now, we're solving as many bugs and issues as we can in order to give you the best experience possible. That being said, the Ashlands update really isn't far away now, and in order to make sure you're sufficiently prepared, we've put together this article for you so that you know what to expect in terms of world generation, difficulty and so on. But as always, onto the teasers. You might have noticed that we promised that the Ashlands update will feature over 50 new pieces. This was in one of their Twitter posts and a reply to someone. There were just over 35 for the Mistlands update for comparison, and today we'd like to show you a decorative window in a new wooden material which will be accessible in the biome, because it's built together with regular wooden walls and black marble pieces. The new wooden material, so I guess it looks a bit darker wood. That could be cool. A lot of people have complained there's not enough variety in some of the textures for the base materials. And even though we've got the dark wood, it's got kind of a lot of trellis and decorative on it. Doesn't really have a lot of just plain simple differences. The floors look really nice though. It's like this parquet, I do believe it's called, flooring. So it'd be cool to make some of these designs. Some diagonal boards. But that with the window, and actually I was thinking that was glass, but it does look like it is just a very ornate dark ash wood. And of course vines. We knew this was happening, but I didn't realise it would actually have fruits on it, or seeds or berries. So yeah, it does look like you'll be able to gather these up and use them somehow in some sort of recipe. I wonder if it's going to be a stamina based one, I'm guessing, since stamina usually is vegetables. They show off some of the plushies that they've got on sale at the moment as well. And Smithy, one of the community managers and QA testers at Irongate, also showed off a little nice clearer picture of what it looks like on another material. So once again, all really good stuff. When? Honestly, it can't be that much further off. I feel like if it was definitely this week, it would have mentioned it in this article. Unless they're like leaving some major surprise, it could be the beginning of next week. I think we will see Ashlands arrive now. So get ready for Ashlands. This is what they're going to be doing. It will be on the public test branch first. This means you'll be able to do it then. Obviously make backups of your saves on Xbox. I'm not too sure if you can. The separate PTB though might take on board your progress and not let you revert back to it. Now, it doesn't explicitly say about the Xbox One, but they have had it up and running in the past. So it should be on the Xbox Insider program. Like I said, unless anything's changing, I feel like they would have mentioned here that it's not going to be available on Xbox version. As always, new content will only be generated properly in previously unexplored areas of the game. Therefore, if you've already explored a lot of the Ashlands, the update will not generate properly in that world. We recommend that you start a new one. If you haven't explored the Ashlands, you should get new content, but we always recommend that you start a new world for the best possible experience. You can of course start a new world with an old character if you don't want to play through the whole game again before being able to conquer the Ashlands. Additionally, the Ashlands update features significant changes to terrain generation around the Ashlands. The Ashlands will only be accessible by ship, and the terrain around it has been lowered and turned to ocean. This also affects any buildings you might have in that area. If they are built on terrain that gets altered, they will collapse. The image below shows what happens to a spawned location versus what happens to a player built structure. As you can see, even if the spawned building remains intact, it will be rather difficult to reach as the terrain around it is vastly lower. So don't build too close to anywhere that's got ashlands on it. If you found some black forest that's kind of just on the side or the cusp of it, don't thinking you're going to be building an outpost right there. Definitely make sure it's much further back into a black forest rather than on the edge.
Before you travel to Ashlands, you must make sure that you have defeated the Queen in the Mistlands. If you've done so on an early playthrough, remember that her dropped item is no longer a placeholder. Just like Atlas Antler lets you craft a pickaxe needed in Black Forest, and just like the Elder drops a crit key for the swamps, the item from the Queen will be useful in the Ashlands. If you have the item already, you might need to toss it out of your inventory and pick it up again for new recipes to trigger properly. We also want to remind everyone that Valheim is meant to be a difficult game, and that it's meant to be more difficult the further you progress. The Ashlands is the penultimate biome of the game. If you're confident in your skills, by all means go forth. But if you haven't played Valheim for a while, if you're feeling a bit rusty, recommend a bit of practice to get into it. You can adjust difficulty in the world modifiers menu. Every time they update, obviously it does upset mods sometimes, so some mods might need to spend a bit of time updating. They reckon you should disable all mods before downloading the Ashlands update, otherwise the game will most likely not launch properly. To disable mods, you will also need to remove BepInEx or any other mod loader, as they might try to load regardless. So there we go, all great useful tips and advice. The Ashlands is coming to Xbox, PC at the same time. It will be available in a PTB for a good few weeks, I imagine, before releasing for absolutely everyone. I'm expecting it now. Honestly, it could happen this week. It could. But I do feel like they would have put a little tease like look out for Wednesday, as we have got a big announcement, or look out for Thursday. So I would expect maybe next week that's when it's going to go live. I'll be there first to show you everything in the Ashlands as always. And that's it, Ratbags. Until next time, laters.